You want shirts? I got shirts.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
What is up, heroes of Dominion? My name is Charlie. This is Hero Wars Central, and in today's video, I want to talk a little bit about how to beat my Kark team. Now, my Kark team, first of all, is the variant that uses Astaroth, Kark, Nebula, Faceless, and Martha. And while I don't often use this one on defense, it's the one that I use the most. So a lot of people ask me what's the best way to beat my team. I thought this would be a fun video. A lot of these strategies will apply to a lot of Kark teams, but it really depends on a lot of little nuances. And before we actually get into the fights, I do want to say that these fights are all shown in a max test environment on the Facebook platform. So some of the skills are a little different from Facebook and mobile. And since this is all level 130 with, completely maxed out artifacts, glyphs, items, and red +2 promotion instead of orange +4, there's pretty dramatic differences possible between Facebook on mobile just in the stats, not even taking into account the differences in some of the skills. So I do want to put all that out of the way, and you guys might not be at max level, and that's okay. Most people aren't. So let's talk about the first fight. So the first fight that I want to talk about is the standard Kira Blender team. Now this is Anvari, Kira, Sebastian, Nebula, Jet. There are some rumors that this team is going to be changed a little bit in the near future. We don't know anything for sure, but without making any changes at all, this team just wipes the floor with my Kark team. It just beats it, and that's okay. I'm glad that there is an easy counter, a straightforward counter to my Kark team without having to think about, without having to test, without having to sub in and out a lot of heroes. But this team may actually be changed with some updates in the future. I don't want to go into it more than that. We've talked about it enough. So what you could do instead is use the alternate Kira team, and that's Cleaver, King Mao, Kira, Dorian, Jet, but subbing in Anvari for King Mao and using Anvari's movement nullification abilities to help beat the Kark teams. All right, so this team will beat my Kark team. Okay, so the next team that we want to talk about is your Orion, Dorian, Helios teams. Now, Orion, Dorian, Helios by itself can't really beat Kark teams, but all you got to do is simply sub out Helios for Arachne, and a well-leveled Arachne, at least on par with other heroes in your team or the opponent's heroes, has a lot of good stuns that will negate a lot of Kark's damage. And just swapping out Helios for Arachne lets this, quote-unquote meta Orion, Dorian, Helios team, without swapping out any other heroes, just Arachne and Helios, swapping those two, allows this team to beat my Kark team actually pretty handily. Pretty quick. So let's talk about the meta Satori team. So this team right here is built to beat meta teams. It's got Luther to knock out Martha in the back. It's got Anvari to prevent movement. Satori is extremely strong damage dealer since he's the only damage dealer. And this is another strong counter to my Bob team. Very strong. I actually use this team on my mobile account. I love this team. It's a lot of fun to level. It surprises a lot of people, especially teams that have the energy bonus heroes like Orion or Jorgen. It's very effective against, but this team is particularly effective against my Kark team and a lot of Kark teams, in fact. So another good win there. And finally, let's talk about the Twins meta. So the Twins meta team that I used for this example was Astaroth, Twins, Martha, Jorgen. And again, all you got to do is swap out Jorgen for Arachne, and Arachne does a lot of great work in this one. The Twins will group up the enemies, and then Arachne will go ahead and stun them all and keep them in place, and they all die very quickly. So this video isn't meant to be, the end all be all how to counter Kark teams. This is just an interesting video on how to counter my specific team. I feel like it's fair considering, how much I talk about the team that I use and the team that a lot of people use because it's the team that I use. This is a great way to counter your opponent's Kark team with your team without changing much. Excuse me. Other great options to sub in are heroes that do blinds, such as Fox, heroes that do stuns, like I mentioned with Arachne, any movement-based prevention hero like potentially Maya, and of course I mentioned Anvari is really good. Those are beneficial. If the Kark team isn't running a Nebula, then Satori will do bonus damage to Kark because Kark gains bonus energy. And, if you have the ability to utilize Jorgen to, slow down Kark, if the opponent doesn't have a Jorgen on their team, that's another great option as well. So stuns, blinds, movement prevention, and a lot of armor artifacts. A lot of armor artifacts. So with that being said, I want to wrap the video up here. Put on screen now some old Kark videos that I've done in the past. I have 1 or 2 Kark videos left in me before we jump into the Heidi event weekend that I'm kind of excited about, and very excited to see what they're going to do with our monkey friend. I love you all. Good luck in Dominion.